a snow-blind empty page in her diary. Saw you living on a page right next to me, and every night we'd make a play for contact that simply couldn't reach. Can't we just get on the same page? So I'm drawing me intertwined with the form of you. 'Cause the bloodline's calling. Some gods don't know what they're goddamn doing. Do you remember how it snowed that night I went down one knee? Nervous hands could never reach that ring that might as well have been on a screen. Golden stairs or winding trails will never get through. Every attempt I make, it bears no fruit. Someone will have to do. So I'm drawing me intertwined with the form of you. 'Cause the bloodline's calling. Some gods don't know what they're goddamn doing. So I'm drawing me intertwined with the form of you. 'Cause the bloodline's calling. Some gods don't know what they're goddamn doing. They don't know what they're goddamn doing. They don't know what they're goddamn doing. Thank you, Parlour. All right, let's do some more. That first one was called Some Gods, and this one is called Fade Tonight. so bright. That's just fine, but I think I'll just fade tonight. Part of me is more a machine, I'm hard at work, leaving gritty trails of dirt upon the earth. The part that drives us deep inside November days. Please leave me if you would. It hurts so good. Listless, but sincere. You can join me if you want. It's warm up here. Part of me is more a machine, I'm hard at work, leaving pretty trails of dirt upon the earth. The part that drives us deep inside November days. Please leave me if you would. It hurts so good. Please leave me if you would. It hurts so good. Yeah.
That was a piano song.
Yeah, usually done on piano.
That's crazy.
All right, this one is called The Outskirts. Out here where I am king, the court urges me to do things. Words slither in my ears, all the things I do when I ain't thinking clear. All the secrets that hide in the dust break your heart, stoke your fear. I live alone on the Lord of the Rust, of broke down dreams and broke down trust. I need a new thing, need a new light in my life. Feel like I'm losing the right to come home from the outskirts of my mind. It's no mystery why things got weird. Should have been prepared when the cops appeared. Laying low in a movie theater, stomach bleeding, kill the time, hiding in a room with the white. I fucked this up for the last time, baby. Would you keep this in your closet for a little while? The car's waiting and I'm going away to the outskirts, but I think of you every day. I need a new thing, need a new light in my life. Like I'm losing the right to come home next to the warmth of a barrel fire, but they left my head, grinning faces, dancing orange light. Their arms grow long, pick me from my bones, so I never come home to you. Let's give it up more than I can bear to lose. I need a new light in my life. Feel like I'm losing the right to come home from the outskirts of my mind. Be my new thing. Leave it a new light in my life. Oh, it's darker than I want to admit. You're at the outskirts of my mind. Please leave the light on, I'm coming home. Please leave the light on, I'm coming home. Please leave the light on, I'm coming home.
Cool. New?
What's that?
Is that new?
Yeah.
Okay. What was it say? I don't know if I heard it.
Forthcoming.
Nice.
Alright, cool.
Love this song.
Sweet. This next one is called 4-Star Mental Vacation. Here we go again, slipping away, 4-star mental vacation. Get down right out of Pelham Bay without getting off the floor. Yeah, I'm taking me a holiday. The weed is like a station, just sitting at miles away, just floating through the door. Friendly poisons, waiting with a grin. They take off their shoes and I invite them in. Poisons tread lightly through my veins. I put them there so I don't care. I got a heart that's starting to ache and it needs some separation. Let reality evaporate, celebrate for a moment's peace. Memories disintegrate like the news from around the nation. A parade of thoughts I'd rather not keep, all slated for release. Friendly poisons, waiting with a grin. They take off their shoes and I invite them in. Poisons tread lightly through my veins. I put them there so I don't care. Here we go again, slipping away, 4-star mental vacation. Get down right at Pelham Bay without getting off the floor.
Heard that song right before I came in.
Nice. There we go. The moment I slid out, they held me down with a shout. We hereby brand you in your Christian name. This James is a fraud, got no gripe with your God. If you let me enjoy my shame, I replace my fate. Now something's taking its place. That old weight's all I've ever known. Sleep beneath an iron sheet, from my head to my feet. Thought I'd never break from that hold. Now I've got an angel following me, beautiful eyes in city's teeth. She answered the question I felt so unreached. What were you born for? What were you born for? To raise an honest fist, to swing again if I miss, to laugh with all the fire in my heart. Protect the ones I love, safely enjoy my drugs, sing till there's no air in my lungs. When I die and they'll send me a request or SVP, you're throwing a party, why should I care? I hear eject your parts at the door, candles can't ball no more. Besides there's no music I like up there. I've got an angel following me, beautiful eyes and in city's teeth. She answered the question I felt so unreached. What were you born for? What were you born for? I've got an angel following me, beautiful eyes and in city's teeth. She answered the question I felt so out of reach. What were you born for? What were you born for? What were you born for? What were you born for?
Alrighty, hello all, and welcome back to Motifs Between the Notes here at the Parlor. I'm Tess Lyons here with James Downs. How you doing today?
Doing great.
Great.
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
So you just put on a great performance. Can you tell me a little bit about your journey to becoming a musician, or your journey in finding your sound?
Yeah, my earliest music memory was when I was singing on the floor, singing to my dog. I think I was like 4. My mom was like, "Your voice doesn't suck. You can sing in tune. You ever want to be a musician?" And the first thing I thought was, it's just a testament to how old I am. The first thing I thought of, a musician, then that must mean like 80s cock rock hair bands sort of thing. I was like, no, I don't want to be a musician.
That's
Mom.
not me, Mom.
Yeah, but lo and behold, I became a 80s cock rock musician. So here I am. Yeah.
You proved you're right.
Yeah, I did.
So you were serenading your dog, and when did you first pick up the guitar?
Guitar was. How old are you when you're in 6th grade?
You're about
Like
11-ish.
11? Yeah. So it's been since I was 11. It was the Weezer Blue album that like exploded my mind open. When I first heard that, I was like, I need to know how to make that sound, and that's what did it. So
I want to do what Weezer did.
I want to do what Weezer did, yeah. And then I found a whole bunch of other stuff, Beatles White Album and that sort of stuff, and I was just like, oh my God, this is just the coolest thing ever. So I've been stuck on it ever since, I guess, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you reside in the deep woods of Connecticut. I read that somewhere.
Yeah.
How does living in a spot so immersed in nature influence your sound opposed to New York City, where I know we were talking you lived there for a few years?
Yeah. I think living in a small town, kind of in the middle of nowhere, it naturally has resulted in sort of like a more stripped down sound, a lot less ornamentation, a lot simpler. And I think it's just because there's not a lot of people around to make music with. So I just sort of end up doing a lot of stuff on my own. And whereas in the city, you've got people all around you to collaborate with. You can't like walk down the street without running into a pal or something and making plans to do something together or something like that. So that tends to lead towards like bigger collaborations and like bigger sounds. So things have gotten a lot more simple since I moved.
Do you think there are less distractions? I mean,
Yeah.
like you're saying you're not walking down the street and then running into somebody and then
Yeah,
seeing that
absolutely.
unfold.
A lot less distractions for sure.
Nice. And you're also in a band, The End of America. How does that compare working solo and then working, with a few other people collaborating?
Working with The End of America is awesome because there are so many gaps in my skill set that like in my solo music, I just kind of need to be brave and say like, all right, I got to handle it either way, even if it's not my strong suit. So working with other musicians is just so awesome because you can kind of do that like corny corporate trust retreat where you like fall back into somebody's arms. But
Have
like,
you ever actually done that?
yeah, I think I did when I was like in a peer group in like seventh grade or something.
But not with the band.
No. We've had our own trust exercises where they've caught me many times in weird situations in my life, but nothing specifically like that.
Yeah,
but-
more metaphorical.
yeah, more metaphorical for sure. But yeah, it's easier working with a band because they're just so much more talented than I am. So it's just like, handle this. I don't really want to handle that.
You're being so humble. What do you think that you bring to the group dynamic?
I tend to be the one to push things for speed, like to get things done quicker and to be like, it's good enough. Let's just fucking do it.
Yeah.
Can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm always the one to be like, come on, let's just do it. And I think I bring that to the table, sort of like a momentum sort of thing.
So did you start out in the band and then you decided to go solo, or what? I mean, we already kind of talked about your journey in 6th grade to finding the guitar and sound, but I mean that journey to like performing live solo or performing live with a band, how did that look for you?
Yeah, so I've always had a solo project. Like my favorite artists were always artists that could hold an audience for 45 minutes with nothing but vocals and an acoustic guitar. That's always been a really, really cool thing to me. Like Neil Young and Paul Simon, those types of guitarists, they could do solo sets. So like I've always wanted to do that, and I've always worked towards being able to do that. But playing in a band is just so much damn fun because you're with your pals. So I'd feel incomplete without each of these things going on in my life. And not to mention that when you're in a band, it's like usually people live in different states or different cities because, as you're not in like your early 20s anymore, it's just like life takes over, people get married, kids. Yeah, life happens, so you move to different places, so it's kind of necessary to have a solo project and a band project if you want to be working and busy all the time.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So talking about solo projects, you have a solo project, Haunted Continents. Where did that name come from? Do you think that you're particularly haunted? What's going on with that?
I think we're all kind of haunted.
This is set up like a therapy session, so we can get into it.
Yeah. You're my therapist for the next couple minutes. No, I think that's the basis for the name was just like the landscapes that we live in are not the actual reality, I think. It's been years since this project has been around. I think I probably picked it because it sounded cool, like Death Cab for Cutie or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, but as the years have gone by, I've had to like assign some sort of meaning to it. But I think that it has to do with the fact that like our minds are weird, treacherous landscapes, but they're not true to reality, and that if we can be more honest with ourselves, that things could be better, just for the world in general. But that's it.
So it has a deeper meaning, and it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
When you were in your 20s.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. And like we mentioned, you play a few instruments. Which one do you think is your favorite to play?
Guitar is my main squeeze for sure. It's like what I've been playing the longest. I've always felt comfortable with a guitar in my hands. I do want to sing as well as I play guitar. And I have always been self-conscious about my voice. And actually, until recently, now I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. I'm just too old to care about that sort of stuff anymore. But yeah, guitar has always been my thing. And anything else that I play, I do play piano and I play drums, but like that's sort of just functional. It's like I need that in my recordings, so I'll learn how to do it just at the bare minimum level to like achieve that. But
what changed to make you more comfortable in your voice?
Doing it more.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, but I've never taken lessons for anything, so like I developed a lot of bad habits, but I think that like I figured out how to achieve the sounds that I want with the vocals, even though I know I'm doing it wrong. But
it works.
Yeah, it works, but it took so much longer. I would sing so quiet and off the mic and all that stuff, and it's like, I don't know, who cares? Let's just.
Yeah, I'm always so curious about stage fright. Did your kind of feelings of insecurity about your voice play into any stage fright, or any other reasons play into stage fright?
Yeah.
Or do you experience stage fright at all?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I do. Still, I've been performing live for. God. I think 25 years, but still, it's just like you get some sort of tingles before you go
the adrenaline.
On. Yeah, for sure. Because it's like you put so much time into it. You just want to be good at what you're most passionate about, and it's kind of a balance of that. Like I don't care all that much. Well, I don't want to care about like needing to present a certain way, but on the other side, it's just like I'm a self-conscious performer that just like wants to be good at what I do, you know what I mean?
Also, just the idea of performing is, I mean, I guess like it's an unspoken agreement of making the other side happy,
right?
So there's that pressure too.
Yeah, it's a weird dichotomy because it's just like you're doing it for yourself, but you're also doing it for somebody else, and where is the line, where's the crossover of like how to accommodate for that relationship? So it's always a little weird. Unless you're Bob Dylan and you don't give a fuck about anything at all.
Man does not give a fuck. He's like, you want to hear a song? We're not playing it.
Yeah. I saw him live once, and he was like probably about 2 minutes into Hard Rain before I even knew what song it was.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on?
He's kind of notoriously interesting like that.
Yeah.
I saw him at Fenway Park, and I remember being like, that's Bob Dylan.
Yeah. What are these songs we're listening to? I'm not sure. But good for him.
Good for Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
Go Bob Dylan. Your writing process, can we talk a little bit about that? So is it lyrics first and then music, or how do we typically go about that?
Yeah, I'll do guitar progressions while sort of like singing nonsense words while
kind of filling in the vowels.
Yeah. It's kind of a meditative process where eventually through enough repetitions, like phrases will come to the surface, and then they sort of grow on each end based on like what I'm really feeling like shit about that month. And it really is a therapy session, just to kind of like work through stuff and process stuff that I am like absolutely not smart enough to be able to like articulate with real words. So
you need a melody to go along with
I need
that?
a melody to go with it. It's just like I'm too cagey to like share it with anybody, but I'll share it with the world in a song.
I've interviewed so many musicians who say that the easiest songs to write are the saddest ones. Do you think that there's truth to that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't dislike happy music, but like I'm a happy person for sure, but like music for me has always been about release and working through difficult emotions. I don't know why, but that's what has always drawn me to it. So like, happy music doesn't hit me in that place, and I don't make happy music. Like, I don't think I have a single happy song. And if it sounds upbeat and happy, there's usually some sort of like
You're like masking it.
tongue-in-cheek juxtaposition.
Yeah.
It's just like, huh. So
So what do you think inspires you? Is it sadness or is it?
I think working through shit, because like I want to be a happy person. So like using songs makes me a happy person. So I think that's really what inspires me, is to just like work through anything that feels a little prickly in the
little
moment.
heavy.
Yeah, a little heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, we mentioned Bob Dylan, but who are some of your influences or people that you look up to?
The person that set me off on like my whole acoustic guitar journey was Neil Young, for sure. And in recent times, I'm a big fan of Dylan LeBlanc. He's an artist from Louisiana. Just such a cool, soulful vibe. I really love that dude's music. So, but I'm really a hardcore kid at heart. So like, if I put on music, it's usually like late 90s, early 2000s, New England hardcore or metal or something like that. But
Those are two very different, I think, sounds.
Yeah.
How do you think your sound has changed throughout your music career?
I don't think it's changed all that much. It just depends on like what project I'm working on. If like, I kind of keep the two worlds pretty distinct. If I'm working on folk music or indie folk music, it kind of exists in that world. And I haven't been in a hardcore metal band for a couple decades, so like I don't create that music anymore. So it's easy to, there's nothing to keep separate. It's only this sort of indie folk thing that I've got going on.
So you'd say that you were pretty certain about the whole indie folk sound
Yeah.
pretty early on.
Yeah. I mean, I do love metal, and I do love all of that stuff. It gets my heart going, but like being able to singing, melodic singing with, you know, like I was saying, just like if you can communicate something awesome with just a voice and a guitar, that seems sort of like the pinnacle of musical expression.
So what
to
you
me.
want to put out into the world.
Right,
is
yeah.
more of that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Switching gears a little bit, so you drove about like an hour for this performance, and I know that you've toured quite a bit in your career. What's the farthest that you've driven or traveled for a gig?
Toured in Europe, so that
It's a far car ride.
Yeah, that was a very far
Yeah.
car ride. But you know, it's like people do that all the time. That wasn't that insane. The stupidest drive I've ever done was from Durango, Colorado to Olympia, Washington for a show that like didn't even fucking happen.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean it kind of did, but when we got there, they're like, "Oh, you guys are actually here." It was
Yeah.
back in the
They were
day.
like, we didn't expect anybody
Yeah.
to drive this far.
Yeah, it was back in the days when only like nerdy people had cell phones. So like, if anybody watching this is one of those people, I'm very sorry.
You're nerdy.
You're nerdy.
Yeah.
I'm nerdy too in different
Yeah.
ways. No, but
We're all nerdy.
It's like you would get to a city and you would call the promoter from a payphone and be like, "We're here.
Yeah.
How do we get to your venue?" So it was during those days, but it was like, I don't remember what the drive is, but it was like through the night and through the next day to get to the venue, and I was the only one sort of stupid enough to like drive those mountain passes at that time of year when it was icy and stormy, so like I didn't sleep at all.
What made you do that drive? Was the gig really sick, or were you just
No.
kind of
No.
young and wanting?
Yeah, exactly. We were just
Wanted some
idiots.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, we were idiots.
That's
And
so fun.
yeah, it was an adventure, and we met we looked like, you know, scraggly punks, and when we were making a phone call on a payphone, some other scraggly punks were like, "You guys look lost and so shitty.
You look
Do you need
like
a place
us."
to stay tonight?" Yeah. And so we made some friends, and we slept on their floor that night, and it ended up being cool, but the show sucked. But that was the stupidest drive I've ever done.
So being young idiots traveling to Europe and obscure Washington, do you have any crazy stories from those times? or what's a story where you look back now and you think so fondly, or just kind of like, damn, I was this idiot.
Yeah, one of the ones that like I think about the most is when we were on tour in Pennsylvania, and for some reason, whoever was driving thought it would be a good idea to like, oh, we missed our exit. Let's take one of those in-between highway things.
We've all thought it at least once.
Well, this asshole actually acted on it, and it was not actually a connector road between the two highways, but a on-ramp to a construction site that was not lit up, and the road was still being built. So we found ourselves driving on this pitch black stretch of unfinished construction road, and like, why are we not on the highway? And there's this like ledge, the road ended and it like went down 1.5 feet, and our van and trailer flew off this thing at like 60 miles an hour in the pitch black in the middle of the night. And it practically totaled the van, and we're so lucky we're not dead.
Oh my God. What was the gig worth it? What was it worth it?
No, they never are in the early days. They all kind of suck in the early days, but they're fun. And
yeah,
we lived through that, and God, I just would totally.
And you're better for it.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, that was one of the craziest moments. But yeah.
That's so funny. So you do a lot of graphic design work still? Do you do some poster making for some bands?
Yeah, well, not for other bands, but it's just like if I do all my own artwork, it's like that's my hobby.
Okay.
And so I like to do. I was doing it for other bands for a while, but now it's just like if I need artwork, that's the extent of it. I just do it for myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing on your Instagram page you had a bunch of artwork that you had made for other bands.
Oh, cool.
How do you think that affected some of the relationships that you built being in the music scene through a different art form as well?
I think it helped, honestly. I like whenever anybody asks me like, how do you make connections, or how do you make pals, how do you become part of a circle, I always say like you got to be valuable in some way and like help out in some way, and if you got some sort of skill, to like offer it for free to people. And I always did that. Just like, bands coming through town, it's like you need a place to stay, whatever, but that poster making, artwork, that was something I enjoyed doing, so I always offered that. And you just, it's not a tit for tat sort of thing, but like you do become valuable to a certain circle, and when you need help, people are willing to help you, and it's just kind of a cool back and forth. So that's how that played into my life. Yeah.
Well, where can people find more of your music? Are you on Bandcamp, Spotify?
All those places, yeah.
What would it be under?
Haunted Continents.
Okay.
Yeah, Haunted Continents, anywhere. And yeah, I've got new music coming out every couple of months, just releasing singles at this point, and yeah, just having fun making them in my basement in the middle of nowhere and just releasing stuff that way.
So you have a few singles coming out, you mentioned. When should we expect some of those?
I would say the next single's probably going to be about 2 months away, and then 2 months after that. I'm at about a pace of every 2 months.
Nice.
As of right now, yeah.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Well, anything else that you'd like to shout out for us before we wrap things up?
No, just thank you for having me. It's a great way to spend a Monday night.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much to the Parlour for our sponsor, Trinity Brewhouse. I'm Tess Lyons at the Parlour with Between the Notes, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.